Okay, let's dive into this. Today, we're unpacking something incredibly profound about the human experience, and that is true friendship. It's so easy to buy into the illusion that friendship is just walking together during the easy, sunny days of life. We constantly see it all around us, right? The social media posts, the vacations, all those perfect smiles. But today, we are going to look way past that surface layer to examine the quiet power of true connection and figure out what actually defines it. Because honestly, that surface level definition, it shatters pretty quickly when you realize a true friend is not simply someone who walks beside you when the sun is shining. I mean, we all have people who are a blast to be around when everything is going great. But the real, undeniable test of a bond isn't who is laughing with you in the sunshine. The true test is who actually stays right there by your side when the skies inevitably turn gray and the storms actually arrive. Real friends don't just watch the storm from a safe distance. They literally become your shelter. They don't just magically disappear when your life gets a little complicated or messy. And here's the crucial part. They don't keep score. They aren't sitting there tallying up who gave more time or energy or support. They just give, purely because they care about you. So, to truly appreciate the genuine stuff, we kind of have to examine the counterfeit. Let's look at Section 1, Anatomy of a Fake Friend, Spotting Superficiality. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast between the two. See, a superficial friend might smile warmly in your presence, but they are absolutely the first to question your absence. Their applause? It's conditional, meaning they'll cheer for your success, sure, but only when it doesn't outshine their own. But a true friend? They genuinely celebrate your light. They don't feel any need to compete with it at all, and they just bring this overwhelming sense of peace to your life. It really just boils down to convenience versus loyalty. Fake friends hang around mostly for convenience. The very second that real, demanding loyalty is required, poof, they disappear. They know your story, they know your deepest vulnerabilities, but, and this is the harsh reality, in the worst cases, they'll actually use that story against you instead of protecting it. Which brings us to a really important core of any genuine bond. Section 2, Telling Uncomfortable Truths, the Crucible of Connection. A genuine friend is going to tell you the truth, even when it's incredibly uncomfortable for you to hear, and honestly for them to say. And why is that? Because they would much rather protect your future than just please your feelings in the present moment. I mean, think about how profound that concept is. They aren't just feeding you what you want to hear to keep the peace. They are actively guarding your path forward. Yet this tough love is perfectly balanced with just incredible empathy. They clap for your victories as though they were their very own. It's tough love, but it's paired with absolutely unmatched supports. Because when life beats you down and you've completely forgotten your own worth, a true friend is the one who steps right in to remind you of it. Moving on to Section 3, the Midnight Call, Measuring Connection. Let's move past just counting the numbers in our contacts. I want you to pause for a second here. Seriously, mentally evaluate your own inner circle right now. Who answers when life calls at midnight? When those absolute darkest hours hit, when a massive crisis arrives, and it's incredibly inconvenient for literally everyone, who is the person that actually picks up the phone and shows up for you? The answer to that question reveals the people who bring peace, not confusion, into your life. A true friend makes you feel safe. They provide a rock-solid, secure foundation when everything else around you just feels entirely chaotic and uncertain. They bring trust, not suspicion. You never have to second-guess their motives. You never wonder what they're saying behind your back. They offer strength, not exhaustion. A genuine connection shouldn't drain your battery. It should recharge it. And finally, they bring growth, not competition. As the years pass, you really start to discover that friendship isn't about finding people who just nod and agree with everything you say. It's about finding those who never, ever stop believing in you, the ones pushing you to grow, rather than constantly competing for the spotlight. Which brings us to our final section. Section 4, A Treasure Beyond Measure, Actionable Traits. Definitely keep this checklist in mind. You want friends who speak life into your dreams and who correct you with love. But pay extremely close attention to that third trait, protecting your name when you aren't in the room. That right there, that is the ultimate indicator of loyalty. They defend your character to others when you aren't even there to defend yourself. And finally, they're simply the people who make your heart feel at home. So the crucial point is, life is just far too short to walk with people who only love your sunshine and then magically disappear in your storms. Because at the end of the journey, all those superficial metrics vanish. Wealth fades, titles change, the crowds will eventually scatter. And what you are left with is the pure truth. One loyal friend is a treasure beyond measure. In a world completely overflowing with temporary connections, superficial networking, and fleeting digital interactions, a real loyal friend remains one of life's absolute greatest blessings. So what's your big takeaway from all this? Well, if you have these people in your life, guard them fiercely. Appreciate them openly. But most importantly, I want to leave you with a bit of a challenge. Become one yourself. Ask yourself, are you the kind of friend who answers that midnight call? Don't just look for the shelter. Be the shelter for someone else. Follow the Manor YouTube for more videos.